around and stuff. Yeah.
Ready? Lighting as well.
Got a nice work. Okay, so let's get the microphones on the better place. I'm gonna plug it in. And that it as a microphone to use. Test 1, 2, 3. It's a little bit quiet, but I also guess it might be
I think this is maybe better. So I'm not gonna want to hear myself. So I'm gonna mute my my stream, and hopefully at least I can see the Twitch chat. I'm not sure if I can see the YouTube chat. All right, yes, I can see both chats. Amazing. What's up, Marmot? How you doing? So we're gonna start here with my parts, right? And I've got here on this box, I've got my GPU, the RX 580 with 8 gigabytes, which I already had secondhand on the machine I was using. On this box right here, I've got my B550 Gaming Plus MSI motherboard, which has, it's a ATX motherboard. It's an AM4 and it's a DDR4 because I also have DDR4 RAM that I had on my previous machine. It's got two 16 slot PCIe. However, one is by 16 and the other one is by 8. And then it's got two by 4 PCIe as well, which can be used for things such as network cards and things like that. USB expansion slots as well. Then as the case, which is on this box beside me, which we are gonna open first, I've got the MSI Magforge 112R, which brings included ARGB fans. It's got a dust filter as well. It's a tempered glass side panel. And then we've got the crucial DDR4 RAM at 2400 megahertz speed. Yeah, I've got my power supply as well that I've been using for about 2 or 3 weeks now, but it's new. We've got here my CPU. It's a Ryzen 5. It's a Ryzen 5 CPU. It's the cheapest one. It's the 5500 CPU. So it's got 16 cores. It's got 12 threads. It goes up to 4.2 gigahertz if I'm not mistaken. And here I've got the CPU and the cooler, which I bought for around 80 euros, I believe. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We've got here another graphics card, an NVIDIA one, which I'm going to use as a secondary graphics card. I have also some enterprise grade SATA hard drives. So I've got two 1 terabytes of this one, totaling 2 terabytes. I've got a Samsung Evo one with my operating system already installed on it. I've got this SanDisk one as well, which has some games on it. And yeah, I also have a 1 terabyte 2.5 inch Seagate hard drive as well. So right now we're gonna open the box. We're gonna open the case, I mean, which is this giganormous box, cardboard box that I have here. So I'm gonna have to stand up here and well, let me scroll this down. So right, I'm gonna start by opening it with my trusty knife. That open the stop right here. see if I don't shake too much my table, otherwise two cameras will go a little bit wobbly. Okay, so in terms of packaging, it's got two foamy sides. So let's see if I can wrap this without making too much of a vacuum on the side. So I can pull the box down. Alright, so that was a little bit complicated, but not too much. Right, I'm also going to create some space here on the couch that I have, because this is tempered glass. And I do not want to break the tempered glass by putting it on the floor. So, it's not foam, I'm not sure the name of this in English. Styrofoam, I think it's what it's called. So you're gonna put it on the side. Right, this is facing up, because this is how it will go. Right, where's the bottom of this plastic bag? Let's see. Slowly, without shaking things too much. It's quite a nice case. Let's put this here. All right. So I'm gonna show you how the case is. So here we've got the tempered glass panel. At the top here we have the dust filter, which is magnetic. As you can see, it is pretty nice actually. It feels quite good. I thought it was gonna feel like cheap netting, but it doesn't. It's quite nice. At the top here we have an LED. In fact, this button might be to change the RGB fans, because I know this case has an ARGB hub. It's got a reset button with nice clicky sounds, got the power button. It's got one microphone input with an audio jack for headphones, and two USB. I'm not sure, this is at least 3.0. I'm not sure if it's 3.1. But yeah, we've got these blue colored USB-A's at the top. Now, inside, I'm gonna be opening here, taking these screws off, hoping not to break anything. Wow, these are very tight. One of them I could take, but the other ones are kind of tight. So I'm gonna use my manual, just so, because they're thumb screws, so I can remove them by hand after I loosen them up a little bit. Okay, so I don't have the risk of it just sliding off. All right, so I'm gonna put the glass on my couch, because it doesn't have sharp edges for it to break, because tempered glass is really fragile. We've got a manual. Okay, what else do we have here? I was told it would come with some screws as well, but so far I've not seen them, and I don't think they're in the box either. I hope they haven't fallen in shipping. So I'm gonna put these screws here on the side, and I'm gonna put the tempered glass ones close to on the couch as well. Removing this side panel as well, and putting inside the box of the case. Right, so here we have the hub. Right, so we can see the hub over here. That's the hub. And our power supply will go here. Here it's where I'm going to have the hard drives, and here it's where the screws are. So there's these caddies, and on the top caddy it's where I've got some accessories. So let's see what's here. Let's see what's here. So we've got the screws, we've got some standoffs, we have some zip ties for the cable management, we have some cables which I believe are for the ARGB fans, and we have some covers for the back for the PCIe cover. So my stream on my tablet froze. I'm not sure if it's still running. All right, it is still running. And okay, I hope I haven't missed any messages on the side. I hope not. But yeah, so we have that, and now I'm gonna put the caddy back in. So we're gonna put the case on the side here. Put the caddy back on its place, because the case will be the last thing you're gonna have to deal with. But yeah, it comes with the ARGB fan, so it's got one at the back that's blowing air out. It's got 3 fans at the front blowing air in, with also a mesh, and one of the fans also kind of blows air onto the hard drives as well. So now I'm going to put the case on the side, and I'm going to get my chair, as we're going to be working with the motherboard now. So we've got here the motherboard, which is the B550 MSI motherboard. It comes with a manual, and it comes with 2 SATA cables, which I'll be using. However, I do have more here on the floor close to me in case I need to. Okay, so let's open this up. I'm gonna be turning this around because we're going to be building on top of the cardboard. Some people like to build on top of the plastic. The inside, it's insulated against static electricity. However, the outside, it is not. So if you ever build a computer, do not build on top of these plastic bags. I'm gonna put that on the side over there. So it comes already with a battery, which is very nice. It's an ATX, and we're gonna put the, I'm used to Intel, which has a bracket on top. I've never used this one, so I'm quite curious on how this will work, because it feels, wood is also good. Yes, wood is also a good option because it doesn't conduct, but I'm not sure about this desk, so I'm going to be using the cardboard here to protect it against electrostatic. Now I'm going to be checking now here the cooler, as I've never dealt much with AMD cooling, so I'm guessing I'm gonna have to be removing. Yeah. Okay, I'm guessing I'm gonna have to be removing these screws because the cooler will be tightening there, I assume, and this is just to hold the bottom bracket in place. Yeah, I've got this this rod thing, so I'll just put the CPU there on top and clip it in. And yeah, the arrows, I know it's got a little arrow right over there. That is also the same with Intel, I think. So here I also have an NVMe slot here and another here. I don't have any NVMe drives, so I'm only going to be using the 6 SATA ports I've got available to me. I've got a USB header here. I've got system fans. Right, I've got CPU fan here. Alright, I'm looking at all the headers. And I'll have to look as well, because I know I have ARGB headers, which I'm not sure which ones they are, so I'll have to check that on their site. Now, first things here, we'll add the CPU. We'll also add RAM, which we can do now. And RAM will be added on the second and on the last slots. First, so the second and the fourth, we only have 2 sticks, but in case we need to upgrade later. There we go, it clicked in, very nice. Here is where the RX 580 will go, and here on this one is where the I'm gonna have to reload this again, as Restream, which I'm using, is being a little annoying. Keeps freezing on me. Yeah, so this GPU is a GTX 645. It's got 2 gigs of GDDR5 RAM. It's from 2013, if I'm not mistaken. So we have it here. This is the NVIDIA GPU, which we'll be using. But we'll put it after. First, we're gonna look here. So where's the arrow? So it's gonna be facing this way. I'm gonna be pulling this lever up. We'll have to be very careful not to bend any pins, because if we bend pins, then there goes our CPU, which wouldn't be too pleasant. So we'll pop it in here. There we go, it's in. All right, so we've got our CPU in, and now we'll place our cooler. So I'll have to remove these screws because this is holding the back plate in. You mean that one? Yeah, I'll make it come down so you can see a little bit better. It might be a little bit too up. All right. So I've done the change. I've brought it closer to here, so it's more visible. And we were removing these screws. Now, something that is good about this cooler is that it comes with pre-applied paste, which is great. So I don't need to put paste here. I just need to lower it and tighten the screws. So we'll be tightening. Let me see, where's the CPU fan? It's over there. So, well, I can make it go around this way like so. And it still will look kind of clean, so that's okay. Well, this actually will be facing this way. But yeah, it's either like this, which actually might be better, so that's what we're gonna do. Yep, that's how we're gonna do. So we're gonna tighten the screws. I think might have to pop out the brackets at the bottom. Yeah. There we go. That's one screw. Now we're going on the second one. It does a click, click, click sound, and then it stops it creates some resistance, and it doesn't let you screw it in anymore, which is you knowing that it's screwed in all the way. But you need to make sure you do make some pressure on the back, so that the back plate does hold, does have some pressure against your screw, because the screws have like a spring. So you'll be fighting some force here. There we go. So we've got them. Ooh, I've punched my mic. We've got them, all of them in, and we're gonna be connecting the CPU fan cable. I'm gonna be putting it around this heatsink like so, as I really don't have a way to hide it that well. Actually, like this might be good. All right, so we still have a little sticker, but I don't know if I do want to put that sticker in. So I'm just gonna put this back on the box, and I'm gonna put all the plastics and all the cardboard boxes back here, because I like to keep my boxes. It's always useful. So we've got that done. Now here the GPU will go after both of them. This will go after. So for now, and get our case ready for the motherboard. Unfortunately, it is not labeled, so I'm gonna have to check which standoffs I might have to add for these ATX. So we've got these cable here, so I'll do it that way. It does seem that has some standoffs already, so I actually might not need to add any. So let's have a look here. I had a cable that was this one, which we'll have to move a little. So let's have a look. Yeah. All right, I do have the right standoffs. And right, where do I have my measuring tape? Because I have one somewhere here, and I do need it. Because I'm not 100% sure about any standoffs over here. Because this one's the motherboard has. But there's some that it doesn't, which are these corner ones here. So we're gonna have to add those in. And it does bring the screws for the motherboard as well, which is very good. Very, very good. Alright, so I don't have any tool to actually tighten these standoffs, so I'm gonna have to do it by hand. And I don't want to do with a... Is it pliers that they're called? I'm pretty sure that's pliers that they call it. So I'm going to be tightening them in. Right, I did forget to add water. So I'm going to get some water for myself. Alright, I'm back. I brought some water as well. And we're back putting the standoffs. Okay, let's put the last standoff. Okay. Now, let me have a good look at the back. As here is where my power supply will go, and something that I can already do is put the hard drives in. So after, it's just sliding in, and they seem that it's toolless, which is very, very nice. Are they toolless? We're gonna have to be facing this way. So, yeah. Well, they do have some kind of plastic pins. Yeah, these are toolless. So, no screws needed to put the hard drives in place, which is very nice to see. Now, the SSDs, however, will need screws, and something that I'm getting a little afraid of is the fact that I thought this case could hold 3 SSDs, but it seems that it can only hold 1. I might be able to hold another one here, so alright, I'm gonna deal with this. Let me get my electric screwdriver, because the SSD that I do want to put here is the boot SSD, so it will have the operating system on it. Now, how do I pop this out? Alright, so that's how. It slides up, and I'm guessing this will have to face down. That will have to be a very long SATA cable. Okay, so in terms of screws for this, I'm guessing it's these ones. So, alright, let's do this. So, I'm screwing this in. I do believe this is these ones. Actually, I'm not too sure on which screws go here. I'm not very certain, because this one's, I believe they're the motherboard ones, but maybe they're the same. I'm generally not too sure. They are the same, yes. So the motherboard screws is the same screws you'll use for the SSD. So we're going to be using these little screws to tie it here. And yes, we're going to use all the 4 screws, because the less screws then I've got floating around, the better. Now I do want to make sure something that I just reminded, since I'm streaming to both Twitch and YouTube, I might not be on the right Twitch category. So I'm gonna have to look at that. And I'm not so sure how to do that on mobile. Alright, it is set to the right one, so it's IRL, which is good. Though it seems that it's showing up black on Twitch, which... that's not supposed to happen. What about on YouTube? On YouTube seems to be fine. Yeah, that's odd. I'm not sure why on Twitch is showing up like that. So let me try to troubleshoot such a thing. At least it's showing just black for me. Is it black for anyone else? That is very odd. Well, in that case, I'll be closing Twitch and I'm going to be maintaining it on YouTube. Because Twitch is misbehaving. Which in Twitch is not very nice. So I'm just gonna have to put on my YouTube stories that unfortunately Twitch is acting up because I shared it on there. that I would be on both platforms. And since I'm not, it's nice just to tell the people. All right, so that's done. So we're back at this, and I would love to take this sticker out, this SSD. Unfortunately, it is really glued in there, so it's gonna have to go back in with it. Thankfully, it is gonna be on the back of the case, so we're not gonna see it. I don't think the bottom part slid very well, because I think there's supposed to be two parts of this thing that slide in. Yeah, so it doesn't actually just flop around. Okay, so this is the hub, and I'm not sure what this thing is. Alright, and this is power, and this one will go, oh, this is just covers. Okay, so I don't think the fans are connected yet. Or they're just extensions. Let me have a look. So these ones go here. They are connected, it's just so I want to add more. Okay, that does make sense. They come with little cover to them. Okay, that makes sense. So next what I'm gonna do is I'm not sure if I should put the power supply first or the motherboard. I think I'm gonna put the motherboard first. No, I'm gonna go with the power supply first, which is the MSI Mag A650BN power supply. So I'm gonna change here the view. So this is the power supply. I've already opened it and used it, as I said earlier. So it's a bit of a mess inside. So it comes with power cable, and it comes on this box like so. So we're gonna remove it. We're gonna take these sponges. It also comes with screws that just flew onto the floor because the box tilted. But it has a bag with screws to, well, screw it onto the case. So we'll be doing that now. So we're gonna put the fan turned down because there's a grid here. So it's gonna pull air from the bottom and it's gonna throw the hot air out the back here. So we're gonna open our little bag, which is these kind of bags that have these little thing, which is very nice. It's not the ones you just rip and then, well, they're ripped. You can keep using it for other screws and things. And now we're gonna align this. And we're gonna put all the screws. So I'm gonna use my electric screwdriver, which I don't know why I don't see more people using these kind of screwdrivers for tightening these kind of screws. because we have like the Linus tech tip screwdriver and stuff, which is those ratcheting ones, which are nice. I had one, not the Linus tech tips one, but I had a ratcheting one. This is much easier, just let it screw in. So yeah, this looks very clean. All black screws, all black case, everything black. So it's very nice. Yeah, they are cheaper. You don't see these very much other than like big stores. But yeah, this one you can also change the head. You can change this up. And it was what, 20 bucks? That's how much it cost me. And it's a USB-C chargeable. So I didn't think about this too much actually, because now it's got the cables underneath and it's gonna make my job a little bit harder. But we're gonna mount the motherboard now. Which comes with a built-in I/O. And I think I'm gonna have to remove this fan because the I/O is hitting the fan. So I'm gonna have to disassemble it for now and assemble it back once I have the motherboard set. Ooh, it's got vibration dampers. That's very nice. Right, so do I have... it seems that I'm gonna have to do it this way somehow, so it doesn't fall. There we go. Right, and I don't know if the top view is better. No, it's not any better, unfortunately. So now I'm gonna place and align. The fan fell on top of the heatsink because it's pulling on some cable. And I don't have enough light to see if the motherboard's on top of the standoffs. Alright, it seems to be. Alright, so we can put this one now over there, and we can put the motherboard screws back in. So we're gonna go back to the top view, and it's always good to put all of the screws in because the motherboards use some, if not all, standoff things as a grounding. So and the cheaper ones cheap out on that, and only some of the standoffs holes have the grounding. So if you tighten all of them, you're making sure that you properly ground your motherboard. So always make sure you put screws on all of your standoff holes. So I'm using my phone right now to be able to see me if I'm screwing on the right places, which I am. And this time I'm not using the electric one, so I don't use too much force. It's just enough I don't want to apply too much force onto it. Right, I'm gonna change my interface. So instead of using the Restream the Restream UI, I'm gonna change to my actual YouTube view. And for some reason, that is odd. These platforms confuse me, I swear to God. Like, why is my live not showing up? On the channel, or is it? Okay, it is. All right, so I'm gonna just change to my YouTube. See me very close, and I'm gonna go back here, so I can see just the YouTube instead of Restream like constantly bugging out and freezing. So have I screwed in? No, I'm missing one standoff there and one standoff there and one over there. Okay, so that we're almost with all of the standoffs screwed in. So we're gonna tighten this up here, and we're gonna tighten these ones up as well, and then we're gonna put the fan back. Properly, and then we have to connect all the cables, and for that I do need to make sure I know which cables go where. Right, okay, so this is, and I want this one to pull air out. So we're gonna screw that in here. I'm just gonna first put the screws in with my non-electric screwdriver because it's got a magnetic end, and then use the electric one to tighten everything else. I tighten it the rest, as it just makes it easier, honestly. And now I can also adjust more or less where I'm with the electric one. So it doesn't go anywhere. Alright, so I'm gonna remove the rest of the motherboard box out of here. And now I'm actually gonna have to Google what each fan pinout is, or I can just check on the manual, you know, because this has a manual that I can read. and it should have also has a quick, oh, and it's got an app. And it brings the screws for the M.2, that's crazy. Alright, so it's got explanations for different CPU. Yeah, okay, that does make sense, but the CPU, okay, those basically those things I removed from the motherboard would be to another kind of cooler that I don't have, so I had to remove them and screw my default one in, which makes sense. Does this only explain? I'm looking to see fan pinout, which I do not. So there should be a QR code on the back on this case with a user manual, which will tell me what each of the pins are, which is great. It's very lovely in it. Yeah, I don't like that kind of language, even if it's not actually. But other than that, what's up? How's the everything goings? I'm trying to check something on my phone. And it's not going very well. All very good, all very good. Just, well, kind of installing this. Yeah. And trying to see now where the headers go for the fans. And I've just placed my phone, God knows where I had it in my hand. Oh, there you go. So I'm trying to see where I'm supposed to put the fans on. So they should have a picture of the motherboard with those fan pinouts on their manual, which they do, but Jesus, the way they name it is terrible. Basically they name it the same way that is that's on the motherboard itself. So I'm gonna look it up. MSI B550 Gaming Plus fan headers. So I'm gonna have to look up So I've got more in, yeah. I've got 3 fans that pull air in, and I've got 1 fan that pulls it out. And since they are ARGB, they're all connected to a hub. And that is my issue, as I need to figure out where that hub will connect on the motherboard. So that's the part that I'm having some issues with right now. And looking things up is not being very nice to me, as the browser, it's not loading it up properly. Like it loads really weirdly. Yeah, it just shows white, but yeah, my point is it's showing really weirdly like that. I would like a straight image. Oh, there's sys fans, which would be system fans, but there's supposed to also be ARGB, but I don't know if it just doesn't make a difference, because it might just not make a difference. So I'm just gonna see, right, which cable is the one that goes out. It's this one, yes. So I'm gonna take this little, I'm gonna take this one here, to stretch it out. And so we've got 1 SATA. So let's separate these cables and see what will power what exactly. So this one could, so I've got 2, need to see how many SATAs I have. So I've got 5 SATA, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm not gonna be able to put the 1 terabyte HDD, the smaller one. So instead, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna be connecting this one's. So I connect this SATA, and then I connect this SATA as well. Could I possibly pop it out? I can, though I still need light from my phone. Okay, so we've got a second SATA plugged in, and then the third one from this cable will go as power for the RGBs, which I don't understand why they just didn't use Molex. Oh, yeah. So, alright, I do have this Molex extra one that I don't know what to do with. So I'm just gonna put this in here, I guess. So they're gonna be shoved in there. So then I've got enough space to work around here. And this one will go out onto this hole. Well, there's some system fans that have all the pins. Is it the J Rainbow? It might be the J Rainbow actually. So it just might be this one here that I'm gonna plug in. There we go. What does the manual say about that top thing? It probably just says J Rainbow as well. Yeah. Where's the other one? Oh, it's more at the bottom. I could use also the bottom one instead of making so much pressure on this cable. There's one closer to the bottom. Right, where do I have? I've got this one here, which actually I don't have any camera to show. Oh, that's too bad. But there is one that lets me do that. All right, now I'm gonna pop out. In fact, no. Let me see. Yes, I'm gonna pop out my GPU, my RX 580. Which is this beauty right here. And I'm gonna be measuring. Go. So if it goes here, I'm gonna have to pop the second. The third PCIe places, so that's out. And we can already place it. In fact, this case has this thumb screw which you're supposed. Who tightened this? Hulk? It's like it's the third thumb screw that's really, really tight. So this is better for you guys to see. Let me see if I can work this way. Like that. So the graphics card will go here. Sweet. Now I need my screw to tighten it up. So I'm gonna actually do it on this one. Honestly, I don't usually tighten these screws up because I don't know. Because I never had screws and I've used this one which is really light, so I've never actually needed to screw them in, like have the actual necessity of screwing them in, because they didn't have sag. Right, so now I need this one out, this one out. Because what I'm doing with two GPUs is the first one I'll use it mostly for gaming, and the other one I'll have my extra monitors. All right. And I still need some light this way. The moment I turn the flashlight off, I can't see a thing, I swear to God. And, alright, so that didn't go very well, as I bumped my camera. So, let's have a look here. That goes in, and this slides in. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna screw this one in as well. Is it what I'm thinking it is? Probably. Yeah. So, USB 3 is down there, which is very nice. I finally have built-in USB 3. So, I'm gonna have to make this cable go from down here. Here, turn around, or no, that's too tight for it, so actually I'm gonna do it come from this way. That gives it a looser yeah. Alright, so that one's done. Now I need to pass that's the CPU. That's more SATA. No, I need the PCIe, which is these ones. And I'm gonna go pass it through here. So actually, because my graphics card that needs it is just the RX 580. The other one doesn't need it. It's all fed through the PCIe slot, which can feed up to 75 watts, which is enough for a lot of heat. In fact, I'm not going to use a zip tie. I'm going to use this twisty things to tighten these cable, so it's kind of nice at least. You know, there we go. And now back here, let me see what's these cables. I don't think I'm gonna need this one actually. What other cables? I've got this one over there, the power one. Alright, so let's have a look at these cables that I've got here, the SATA cables. Which are quite long, which is it's nice. It's nice that they're long. Right, where's my SATA? So my SATA port's over there, and connect these. Which I'm not sure cables. Why is it all straight SATA? I have here a long straight SATA cable. It's yellow, but I mean, I just need it for it to work. Because since it's the hard drive that's at the bottom, it makes it a little bit harder. So, now to route these cables, I'm gonna route them through possibly here. Two SATA cables are connected. Now I need this one. So this is the SSD. I don't know what this one is for. Alright, so one more SATA. This one's the red cable. There we go. Oh. Well, that's okay. Let me see. Right, I need this one. Actually, I shouldn't have tightened the SSD first because I need to connect the cables. So I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna connect necessary SATA cable for the power. Alright, so it is connected. Though, okay, it actually works fine. So we tighten this up. And I have to sneeze. Alright, I'm better. But I did have to sneeze. And I still have the feeling here, which is not very nice. But anyways, alright, what's next? Next is the big boy. Big boy power. Our motherboard. Okay, they're all the way in. So now we go to CPU, which is up at the top, which means we're gonna go through here, and that's the CPU, right? Yep. Very nice. It is in. It is in. So I think it's pretty much all the cables necessary. I don't see anything else that... Well, actually no, I am lying. there's the I/O, the front one, which has to be connected. Bruh. Just touch it a little. Touch it a little. Make sure you don't show up on the Epstein files though. But touch that motor a little. Alright, I might have messed up because, and I'll tell you why, the pins that are supposed for the top USBs and things, well, not USBs, the buttons I mean, are kinda tucked behind this GTX GPU, so I'm gonna have to unscrew it to get to there and then put it back in. So that's the thing. Alright, don't lose any screws. And try to pop it out. However, these buttons that you have to click, they're not very handy. Right, so where do I have these things? Where can I make it go through? I can make it go through this hole, I guess. Alright, let me have a look. So we have audio, which will go there. Okay. I see where the audio pin is, which honestly I'm probably not going to use because I don't have anything that goes on that audio, but it is nice to finally have a case where all the things around it work. So yeah, I'm gonna connect it anyways. Yeah, might be just a bearing being weird. I've had fans doing that and then stopping after a while. Alright, now it's the important part that we have to look for. Which is this. So, alright, they do put together the ones that are supposed to be together. So we have the power LED at the top, and we have minus and plus. Alright, so we've got these ones. So where's minus? Okay, hold on. Okay. Minus, plus is the first one, minus is the second one. So alright, so it's that one and this. Ooh, okay, so that's not gonna work naturally, so I'm gonna have to peel these cables a little from each other. Like so. Alright, what's the bottom though? The bottom is the HDD LED. So I'm gonna put the HDD LED first. Then I'm gonna put next to it the reset switch, which doesn't matter the direction. The LEDs do, the buttons don't, because what they're going to be doing basically is just bridging bridging a connection, so it doesn't. It's not important. Like what ends are bridging where, just the LEDs matter. And then these ones is first the plus and then the minus. So first that one over there, and plus this one. Alright. Now I can put this graphics card back on. Hopefully being easier this time. Which seems to be the case. Get it? Because it's a case. And we screw this back in. Alright. So we have the CPU power, we have the motherboard power. We've already given the CPU fan power, the GPU. We've connected the top IO1 buttons, the fans. So it looks like everything is connected. Hopefully. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the cable that did come with the power supply. Actually, no, I do have a cable there that I can use instead. Already plugged in even to try to boot this. I don't have anything to connect to the GPUs though. Or do I? Actually. Well, I've got that one over there, but I don't know if it's compatible because it had some. It's a little bit funky sometimes. Right, yes, we can try. Right, let me find an HDMI cable because I do have VGA ones. There's the HDMI. I have a lot of cables. There's so many cables around. So we put this in. And it's on, but it's on the wrong. It's this one. I think it's AV5. All right, let's see. It doesn't power. Why? What did I miss? I mean, I did put the buttons on the right thing. Yeah. So what's going on? Wait, did it? Actually, I might have placed it on the wrong place. And these is actually not over there. Which do make sense. And I'm just rather not smart. So it seems that they're actually over here. So I'm gonna take these thing and I'm gonna reconnect them. So HDD LED plus first minus after here, and reset switch. Alright, then we've got the power, and then we have plus and minus for power LEDs, which are the only ones that don't come like fused together. Like the plastic, it's not fused together, which I don't understand why. Because all the other 3 connectors do. Right, so I'm having some issues reconnecting the rainbow connection. It is not as easy as it should. There we go. All right, let's see if it powers on. There we go. Though the case fans are not spinning because I'm guessing this cable is not connected. So let's see if that's the case. Though it's a 3-pin. Jesus. There we go. Well, only one fan is connected. Do you need like all of them? Didn't seem to have like connections to all of them. This one actually, since is the third on the top, it does make more sense that it goes here. Alright, there still isn't anything from the GPU. I did say this one is a weird one. Yeah, so I think it's just acting up. Because it says optimizing and then it kind of does nothing. So I'm assuming that's the issue. Now for the fans, well, let me see the LED button. It does change the colors. I see. Right. So I do have like to connect these fans separately. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn off the PC. Is the stream going yet? It is going. So the PC is off. I'm gonna turn that off as well over there on the switch. And I'm gonna make this cable go all the way around here. So it'll be on this side. And somehow I'm gonna have to make it connect over there. Will be on system fan 4. So I think I'm gonna have to remove this GPU once more. Once more, removing the second GPU. Once more, removing the second GPU. And my phone fell on the floor. I guess it was sleepy. Actually, it seems that I can't take this cable around this way instead. Somehow slot it in here, hopefully. No, because yes, sorry, hold on. There we go. Right, so this is fan number 4. And I still need light. There we go. Now I need one more fan. One more of the little headers for the fan that I have to find. Because there is one fan missing. There we go, found it. Which which will be fan 2, I'm assuming. Yes. So this will go here. There we go. Alright, so I think the build is completed. But before, well, I need to add this GPU again. But before I close it up, what I have to do is I'm gonna put it on where it's gonna live, connect all the cables, and check that it works properly, and then only after that is when I put the glass, tempered glass panel. And right now, the front is fairly clean. The back, however, it's a mess of cables, which means I'm gonna have to do something about that. Which includes pushing them to where they're supposed to be hiding and all. And that should be enough for me. Or could I somehow zip tie these guys? Honestly, I'm not sure how. So I'm just gonna get these panels. I'm gonna slide it back in. Which cable it is, because it's not making sense that is making that amount of pressure. Is it this cable? Genuinely not making sense how much pressure it is making. But this should be okay. Alright, so I'm gonna be moving it to its living quarters, and I'm going to be trying to, it's heavy now. Connecting each cable to where it's going to go and all that. Ethernet to Ethernet. Now the blue one table. And the cables all now fit very nicely, which is amazing. And before they did not. It's connected there. I don't know what more USBs need to be connected. So I've got the keyboard, I've got the mouse, got the monitors. I still need to get the power cable as well. Let's also not break my printer as well while we're at it, as it was a quite expensive one. Alright, it's powering on at least one of the monitors. Alright, so we have both, like I've got, let me see. I might want that to boot up first. And let me see on settings, maybe security. No. Boot. There, it's saying that there's some kind of security. Alright, I think I turned it off. Though it seems to only be detecting the Or this one might be off this monitor, I'm not sure. Okay, now it's on. But I don't think it's got any image, it does not. It keeps saying security policy violation, which I'm not sure what it is. Let me get my chair so I can sit down and try to figure it out. So I want the boot priority though. I don't know why it says UEFI. Oh, I think I know why it says that. Because I do have a USB here. Yes. So yeah, I don't want that. I want a hard disk. And for some reason it's not detecting my my SSD. I also don't need secure boot because I don't have Windows, and that might be why there is that security violation issue. But my SSD is still not showing up. So, first of all though, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna also set up the system date and time. So today's 4th of March. And it's 1440. Though, let me try plugging this USB now, because I've turned secure boot off. so I turned secure boot off, which deboot up onto the correct USB stick, though I need to figure out why it's not booting up onto the SSD. Okay. So both GPUs are working and they both give image, which is very good news. Though when it's booting up it doesn't, it only shows one. But that's fine. So right now I'm just gonna check a live operating system. So I'm gonna just boot up onto a live Ubuntu thingamajig. And I sneeze once more. And then after we're gonna build a good chair. That's gonna replace this uncomfy one that I'm using. So I'm gonna check system monitor. Seems very smooth. So the 12 cores, very nice. 16 gigs. Alright, I'm gonna try a speed test as well. Just because. Okay, it seems pretty good, pretty good. Display settings as well. So that's to apply. Keep changes, but this is the main one. Alright, yeah, that seems nice. So I'm gonna shut it off now. And I'm gonna try to figure out why it's not recognizing the SSD. Because it should. So I don't need to move it out of place. I'm just not going to disconnect one of the monitor's cables because it's slightly too short and it wouldn't allow me to turn the case. Alright. seemed that was a little bit disconnected. Let's see. Actually, it just might have been the SATA being not fully seated. Yep. That was the issue. It's booting up fine now. Ish. Alright. I'm having issues with one of the GPUs though, but it's the NVIDIA one. So I might just need to get drivers for it. So let me have a look. Can I reduce? Yeah, I'm gonna reduce to 720. Alright, let me check something. I'm gonna check OpenRGB. Okay. Now these are going to go here, and I guess I can. Let me see if I can add some updates maybe, or any NVIDIA driver Linux. It might also be misbehaving because it's not an X16 slot, it's just an X8 slot. But it shouldn't cause this weird flashing, I guess. install the drivers. Alright, I don't know what that's doing. So I'm gonna run that file. I need to force something. Let me see this one. Right, I need another type of driver, which I'll install once it downloads the script. So console sudo // and paste the name. It seems I didn't copy the name correctly. And I need to set its permissions to be able to run it. Alright, I'm guessing one of my cameras run out of battery. So, which was the main one. So we're gonna change it. And I'm gonna put the battery charging. While the battery charges, I guess I'm just gonna finish troubleshooting. And then one of my cameras run out of battery. So, which was the main one. It seems that the thing keeps failing. Change it. Right, so the thing keeps failing. So I'm just going to troubleshoot it later. And I'm just going to let the computer run for a bit while we build the chair. Right, so I'm going to angle a bit this, because I've got a table in front of it, right? And I'm going to start by trying to find my knife. That I had here, which I have no idea where I placed it at. Oh, it's here, hiding under a plastic. So let's open this box. It's quite well packaged. Can't complain really. Got some bubble wrap, some metal parts. Alright. This is the base, which we can remove already this whole thing. So we're gonna put the wheels. It's quite good, I mean, for the price. Quite sturdy structure. What people said the issue was these softer parts, but for the price, I'm not too worried, and I'm not complaining too much either about it, because I just wanted something comfier than the current one. So yeah, it's not a great material. It does come with a little kind of dent there. That's fine. No, I just need something softer, really. Where did I put my knife? Again. Here. Under something. Right. Okay. So let's finish taking all of these out. Got the plastic bags. Alright, we've got wheels as well. So it does not bring instructions. So I'm gonna have to find how this kinda works, I guess. I'm not sure where it's supposed to bring screws. Okay. What's here? I hope here is where it's got the screws. Yeah, actually, this is pretty good. This packaging should be done by everyone. That is very, very fucking good. Though it still has no instructions, so again, if it did have instructions, that would be amazing. It doesn't. But again, this is very good. So first I'm gonna put the wheels, obviously. Mount the wheels. With that click that they're supposed to have, which it doesn't feel like having, I guess. Am I doing something wrong? I don't think so. There we go. I'm managing to put the wheels. It does need a lot of force for them to go in. Seems like almost you're gonna break something. Slides very well. Now we're gonna put so it comes labeled saying what's the front, as you can see here. So we know where the front is. So we're gonna screw. You know, the light that went off now would be really handy to show all of this right now. I could just point it to the floor, but I only have one battery for it. So it is what it is. Alright, even without a manual, it seems quite easy to build this. base. I could build this on top of the table. I just remember that. Though I have stuff on the table, so that's why I didn't think about it. But okay, so the base. I'm actually not sure how this is gonna go with the back. Where is the back gonna mount on there? So this is one of the arms. I'm guessing like this. Alright, yeah, it goes on the seat. Where does the back? Oh, it goes up. Okay, I get it. I get it. I see. So let's put all of these on the side. Because I understand now. I have been enlightened. And I understand how they want me to do this. So that's the front. I'm guessing I need the other hand thing, which I have no idea where I placed it. Here. So that's gonna go here. And that's gonna go here. So what I'm gonna do is, so I don't have to use that horrible Allen key, which I really don't like. I'm gonna put an adapter on my electric one. Makes the job much faster like this. Though this is not the ideal piece for it. I do have the right one on the box, which has like a magnet end. So it goes like this. Okay, that one's screwed in. This is screwed in. So now we're gonna screw in your mother. Now we're gonna move all these things from here to the center. And we're gonna move this to over here. The other one, the other arm, I'm gonna align the screws. And tighten this as much as we can. This screw does not want to go in. Bro. It It's refusing to go. Let's go with another one. Come on. Tight, and so is this one. All right, which can make it now go here. I mean, you can feel that it's cheap, but it's still nice. And it's definitely better than the one I was using. So it is an upgrade. I don't know why this. I'm guessing the battery is running out. So it's time to go for the drill. We don't talk about the drill, guys. We don't talk about the drill. Especially because I placed it upside down. It's crazy. Something that's quite crazy to do on what I'm doing. Alright. Has much more strength in spinning the screws. Okay, and this has also a lumbar adjustment thing, which is great. Now, the head thing goes with the last two screws, and these seems to have some kind of like magnets. Are these magnets? No, there's some kind of covers, or oh, they're well, I didn't use them, so that's fine, and I think I'm not going to use the plastic things to cover either, as I'm not too like, oh no, it looks ugly. It's like, no big deal. As I'm not going to be looking at the back of it because of its beauty. Be sitting on it instead. I think this one is a little bit annoying. it feels. Right, I do need this to go up a little bit more. Could be better, but I can get used to it. I mean, tilts a bit forward. I'm not a fan of the lumbar support actually. I guess because I have my hair tied at the back as well. It is nice. So what I can also do is I can use the first GPU to display output, but I can say